All right, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all the praise, all the honor, and all the glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Harakakwadash. And of course, as always, double honors to our apostles and our elders that rule well at Great Millstone. Salutations to all you sincere Akim, preaching this word in all truth and sincerity. And also Shalom to you few Aquathium that believe, all right, in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So this is Mark, all right, chapter 13, in verse, I'm going to start at 7, and it says, "And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must needs be, but the end shall not be yet." And what's taking place on the earth are wars, okay? And they're ultimately going to lead up to the war to so-called end all wars. All right, which is, World War III, and that's going to lead up to the Battle of Armageddon, which is going to take place, all right, in the Levant, okay, in the Fertile Crescent, the Middle East. And you have, these American military generals that were being advised, okay, that troops are being sent to, okay, the Middle East, U.S. troops for, okay, the Battle of Armageddon that is being stirred up. And they mentioned, they were mentioned and they were told that this war is going to lead to the return of whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And his true name, of course, in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai. All right. Now I'm out here, getting some peace, or walking to do this lesson, okay, bring about these scriptures. So, the end is not yet, all right? We still are allowed to, go out and preach the word and put up these videos to edify the body, which is your job. Now, before the nukes, okay, hit, America and the land of Israel, before Yahweh Shai returns, one of the last major prophecies to be fulfilled is the mark of the beast. All right, which is RFID microchip. And you have a lot of our people that know that the mark of the beast is a microchip. Okay, a lot of our people that are not even subscribed to the faith. So what is it with you guys that are out there calling yourselves Hebrew Israelites, but you don't believe that the microchip is the mark of the beast? Okay. See, you guys are going to get caught up in this destruction, man. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is going to judge Every last one of you false prophets out there, man. Okay, you could call upon the name Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But if you're not teaching the truth, all right, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is going to hold you accountable. Okay? Or if you so-called are out there teaching the truth, so-called teaching the truth, but you don't even call upon the true names or teach the true names, all right, the Lord's going to judge you. So this is verse 8. It says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be earthquakes in diverse places." And we just had an earthquake not too long ago that took place in the Philistines. Salakia, the Philistines. The Philippines. Salakia. The Philippines. All right, which a lot of those people in the Philippines, a lot of them are actually Israelites. Okay, not every last one of them, but a lot of them are Israelites. All right, which we believe Manny Pacquiao, the famous Filipino boxer, is an Israelite. Now, we don't know what tribe, but we can speculate, okay, through the spirit, that he would probably be an Issacharite, a so-called Mexican. And when, the Philippines were fighting against Spain, I believe, Mexico sent troops to actually help the Philippines claim their independence. Okay. So we believe that those people are Israelites, a lot of them. All right. Not every single one of them, but quite a few of them, quite a bit of them are Israelites. And Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai judged that place. Okay. He sent earthquakes, and it was causing tsunamis. Okay. So it says, "And there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrows." And just today in our area, all right, a major medical supply warehouse fire in Tracy, California. Which, for all of you that don't know, okay, and one more again for all of you that have heard, okay, me and the brother, all right, a warrior, we preach out here in Modesto, California, all right, which is about an hour and a half, okay, away from the San Francisco Bay Area. All right, we're here in pretty much north central California. Okay, and from us, this is about half an hour, all right, in distance. And I actually went out there quite a few times to work within the year. Okay, and this is a major medical supply warehouse. Okay, lit on fire. And as it says, if it does say anywhere, which I could go back, all right, it says the massive fire that destroyed the 1 million square foot Medline Industries distribution center in Tracy, California. And this Medline company, they are major producers of medical supplies such as gloves, wheelchairs, stretchers, you know, pretty much you name it when it comes to medical supplies you'd see in hospitals. And they produce them, they make them there in Tracy, California, and they ship them all throughout the United States. So this is major. Okay, it says it is a major, all right, distribution of medical supplies. So this is going to affect a lot of things. All right, there was somebody in Reddit, which I had opened, and they were talking about how, they're already seeing shortages on gloves and, things of that nature that aren't always in a hospital, always considered medical supplies. But these different, latex and different gloves are used to protect you, from wounds, from getting harmful chemicals into your body. All right. So once again, this is going to affect a lot of things. And as the scriptures say, we're going to see famines. Okay. The cost of goods are going to shoot up. All right. Drastically. And the man was stating, because of the war in Iran, okay, they're already seeing shortages of these supplies. So how much more now? Okay, the Lord, He is about to really zone in on Babylon the Great, which is America. He's about to really zone in on this place and cause a lack of all sorts of goods, man. Everyday necessities. You remember in 2020, all right, around the time of the C-19, okay, how there was no bottled water, no toilet paper. Okay, I remember the last thing on the shelves was like napkins and paper towels. People were resorting to buy those just so they could wipe their ass, man. Okay, the only bottled water on the shelves was like Arrowhead flavored water. And the next you know, all that was gone. All the napkins, paper towels. People were getting desperate. And that's what we're coming into, man. And a super high level is despair. Desperation. So this is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 17. Woe is me. Woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? All right, and the prophet Esdras, he was saying this because he was seeing what's to come. Okay, Esdras was seeing, all right, the end of this age, of this world, this system. Not the end of the planet or the end of existence of mankind, but simply major catastrophic events which we're about to witness. And Esdras is back today. All right, we just read in what was that, Mark? The beginning of sorrows. And here it is in 2nd Ezra 16 and 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. The beginning of famine and great death. Now, people were talking about the fire of that warehouse in Tracy starting on the roof. And some people were saying, well, was there solar panels? And people said, yeah, that there was a lot of solar panels. So it could have been caused by a surge in heat through all them solar panels, man. Which, in other words, Esau, this damn devil, alright, could have just surged them and caused that fire to happen. And do you remember not too long ago where he was giving people or telling you, if you go solar, you know, it'll pay for itself, or if you go solar, it'll be free, you'll get a tax refund. Okay, he could ultimately, all you people that went solar, okay, detonate your fucking houses, okay, to just bring about, you know, more sorrow. This guy's the devil. Remember all those so-called wildfires in like Paradise, California? Okay, it was well documented that this motherfucker Esau was using DEW, which stands for direct energy weapons. Okay, these solar panels, alright, is a fucking direct energy weapon, man. Okay, this fucking devil it doesn't give you shit for free. Okay, the scripture said that the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. So yeah, he probably gave you a little mercy, had you, you know, with shorter electric bills, running them solar panels for some time, or gave you a nice little tax refund, you know. But then he's gonna fucking turn around and use them shits to detonate your house. Yeah, this woman come in my job site today, and she's crying. Okay, she's in there mourning, crying in sorrow, because that warehouse that lit on fire, she said was where she worked. Okay, mind you, this is, you know, without traffic, 35 minutes or less from where I live, from where me and the brother live. Okay, and this is going to have a major effect on the United States, on Babylon the Great. Okay, it says the beginning of wars, Slakia, the beginning of famine and great death. What's coming to this place is great death. And the way the Lord's going to bring that great death, okay, is through famine, through lack of resources. Okay, you had this fucking Edomite guy came out and started saying, what we need is for people to stop seeing color, stop being divided by color, and all come together to take down the elites. Once we rise up together and revolt and take them out of power, we'll get our country back, we'll get actual freedom. Hey, these fucking elites of Esau Edom, okay, they have a game called the Illuminati, what was it called, the Illuminati board game or some shit like that. In other words, they have this thing all planned out. Because really, they are the left-hand operation of the Heavenly Father. Alright, He created the wicked for the day of evil. So, their plans, okay, their fucking schemes is actually being mastercrafted through the left hand of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. So they already know you people are going to plan to rise up and revolt and form militias and things of that nature. But what you don't know is they're going to strip you of supplies, okay, and have you all killing one another, man. Alright? They're going to turn everything to where you Americans, the scriptures say, the Egyptian shall fight against the Egyptian. which this is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. Therefore, you so-called Americans are going to be killing each other. And like our elders and apostles go into, all right, it's not just going to be a race war. Okay? It's going to be a class war. It's going to be a civil war. Okay, you people are going to fight each other for the smallest of things. Kill each other over opinions. So how much more when it comes to water, fresh drinking water, food, medical supplies, okay, soap to wash your butt, toilet paper. It's gonna get real hairy out here, man. Real fucking scary. Like the elder Amawan Gabar went into. It's gonna get fucking scary out here, man. Okay, meanwhile you people are fucking playing patty cake and going to fucking Disneyland and getting married and having a good old time. Can't wait for summer. Okay, so you could celebrate, be all in this bread and circus. Hey, ancient Rome, all right? The Caesars and all the people, the Senate, patricians, they said give them bread and circuses and they'll never revolt. Meaning keep you guys occupied and entertained, and you won't even know that you're being slow cooked like a frog in a boiling pan. Okay? You slow cook a frog, you just turn up the heat slowly but surely, and the frog won't even know that it's being boiled alive. That's y'all. That's those of you that don't, okay, know what's going on. Because you don't have wisdom, because you don't have Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Alright? It says, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars. Alright? Just like World War III, which we are in, but it hasn't fully cracked off in a nuclear war. You're going to have civil war, class war. Of course there's going to be race wars. But it's all ultimately going to tie up into a class war and a civil war. Okay? It says, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils come? And, you know, just like Esdras, he was afraid, he was scared. All right, we're going to be afraid. We're going to be scared. Okay? But the spirit has to overcome the flesh. Okay? This is Isaiah chapter 36. Slakia 33 and 6. And it reads, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. This is what's going to get us through this. Okay, is our faith in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. That's all we have, man. That's all we can lean on. Okay, the model of the future, the fourth industrial revolution is you will own nothing and be happy. They gonna take everything, man. Okay? They got, what is this shit? Is it Squawk? I forget what it's called. Pretty much AI systems all throughout our neighborhoods and streets with digital AI cameras and these AI systems that can look into your vehicle, see all devices in your vehicle. Okay, say you shoot off a firearm, it can detect different calibers and, you know, by the sound of it, how far it's away, and this shit's all on lock, man. Okay, that sword is sharpened, so this motherfucker come through and make a sore slaughter. Alright, the only person that can deliver us is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So one more again, Isaiah 33:6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. This is what's going to keep us stable in the times to come. Okay, Ezra's going through that, seeing those moments. Okay, he was unstable in those moments. All right, he had to overcome that flesh. Okay, he said, "What was me? What was me? Who's going to deliver me in those days?" You know, without Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, we are fucked. Excuse my French. It says, in strength of salvation, the fear of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is his treasure. Because the fear of the Lord, all right, keeps you on a straight and narrow path. Okay, without the fear of the Lord, you can become proud. Without the fear of the Lord, okay, you're gonna take his grace and mercy, okay, as a form of weakness, man. All right, like how they say in the world, you took my kindness for weakness. Okay, you take somebody's kindness for weakness, man. You feel like you could just push them over and get away with it. Hey, nobody's getting away with Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, man. Nobody. All right, not even this fucking devil. Okay, we have to be mindful and remember to fear the Lord. It says, behold, their valiant ones shall cry without. The ambassadors of peace shall weep bitterly. The highways lay waste. The wayfaring man seizeth. He hath broken in the covenant. He hath despised the cities. He regardeth no man. And ultimately, you know, these cities, these streets are going to be laid waste. A lot of people are going to die from, you know, different diseases and viruses, man. Famine. And then already seeing that there's a shortage on medical supplies. All this, man, all this is tying into one. And it's to ultimately destroy America. To destroy 2/3 of our people that are here in America. And you heathen that are here in America. Okay? They're going to cause a famine, starve you out, have you kill each other, unleash viruses. Okay, and then ultimately the Lord going to have these nations shoot nuclear missiles on this place, man. Okay? It's over. It's through. So remember that, you know, we need faith. To have faith. This wisdom, knowledge shall be our stability in these times, man. This is what keeps us going. This is what allows us not to give up, go back into the world, man. This is what's going to keep us from taking the mark of the beast, which is a microchip. Having faith in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai and the promises he's made. Okay, Daniel chapter 12 said that Michael, the great prince, is going to stand up for his people. The angels, man. And also, you know, what is that? Isaiah 40 and 31. Yep. This is Isaiah chapter 40, verse 30. Even the youths shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. So this has nothing to do with your physical strength. You can't train for this. Okay, this isn't something physical, something carnal that you can be delivered from. Okay? It says, but they that wait upon Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai shall renew their strength. It's all about waiting on the Lord, having faith in the Lord. It says, they that wait upon the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. So the Lord, He gonna provide, okay, for those that wait for Him, the elect 1/3, and also give you strength, spiritual power. Okay, you think of somebody that hasn't eaten in days, hasn't drinking no water in days. They go to walk, they gonna eventually fall and pass out. Okay, it says, but we shall walk, those of us that remain out of one Ratazah. I and all of you, we remain faithful forevermore. It says, and they shall walk and not faint. So in other words, we gonna be kept, man. We gonna have food, okay, mercy, power, Adawan Ratazah, to be delivered from this. Okay, because it's coming. And it's gonna be scary. All right, all these fires, major warehouses falling to shit. Okay, it all has a major effect on, us here. But it's all a trial of our faith. Because ultimately, 1/3 will be delivered and saved. All right, so with that, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Arakwadash. And of course, as always, double honors to our apostles and our elders that rule well at Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect.